Welcome back to another episode of We Are in the Jungle and we are doing things. And the things that we do are magical in nature. Alright, also... yeah, I wanted to build a farm, really. But I don't know where I could place it. It's not really necessary anymore, like I seem to have used up all of my workers. Okay, wait a minute, except for the ones down here. Because I'm kind of running out of... Ooh, there's still some hunting to be done here. The lumberjack dude is still going strong. So, let's put it at 1 for now. And what about the honey cabin over here? Yeah, that one can be destroyed and exchanged with a farm. Nice. Nice. So, let's ignore the rest of that. I just don't like when the number is low up in here. So, the idea is to get to the Treant and... okay, now we can enter it again, which is weird. Just like that. So you get access to the Treant once you have finished...
That's the way?
Uh-oh. It's standing upright. Very interesting.
Arlen said we should cast the spell once the Treant is weakened.
However, we're supposed to do that.
Just focus. We can do this.
Whoa.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Let me take them to the other side, so they're going to fight them from this side over here. So I can just heal myself like that, and you're gonna use that thing. Bam. Nice.
Building completed.
Actually, I could try that one. Does the arrow work? Nah, it's out of range. You can't use AoE attacks against Treants or like super units, titans.
Just give the word.
Alright, is it a oh wait, I have to switch it. So you have to set... I need healing myself.
That's it. Cast this.
Bell.
That way. Alright.
There we go. I think you could have just killed it by accident if you're not careful. And now we can talk to it again. Nice. Ah, this thing looks amazing. Like a Cthulhu monster or whatever. Really cool.
Did it work?
Well, it just said that it's free now.
I think so. Can you hear us?
Yes. Here. Taint. Gone. Roots. Free. You friends. You saved. Broken roots. Broken branches.
Need to photosynthesize. It's also very interesting that this Treant has 5 fingers. There is no reason for a Treant to have any amount of fingers, really. I mean, if it's just a tree, well, if it's... it can just have like 3 or 4 or 8 fingers or an infinite amount. Or just roots that shoot out of it or something like that. Or just no fingers at all. It's too humanized almost. I mean, it looks cool and all, but also it has a backbone. Look at that. The idea is to make a human-looking tree and not a... No, wait a minute. It's a tree-looking human and not a human-looking tree. Is it? Yeah, it's too human. It has... Except for the roots and the fact that it might be larger and the voice and everything. It does not have any tree-like features. Also, it has armor pieces of humans and the stuff. If you would have a Treant, why not just go for a tree and a kit bash, like multiple trees together? Like, this is just me complaining right now, but I'm saying that the Treant looks cool. That's what it does. But it does not really look like a trait to me. Like, you could just take this one. Like, the stump to the left is one leg, the stump to the right is another leg. And maybe have some branches come out of it. Like, the only branch you see coming out of it is this little one up here, and that's this one here. Other than that, it's not really a tree. Yeah, it's not a moving tree, it's a treant. It's something completely different.
Huh. I think we should report back to the village now. Arlen and Varden will be thrilled to hear the news.
Can we talk to it again? No. Once we talk to it, there's no other way of talking to it ever again. Very interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I can get an item from there. It still is corrupted. What's this? Corruption immunity. Immune against the effects of the corruption. Corruption presence. Nearby allies are healed while enemies are damaged. Ah. It has a corrupting presence. That's weird. Nearby allies are healed while enemies are damaged. Corrupting presence. But wait a minute. A corrupting presence, isn't that a spell in here like this one? This is clarity. Applies regeneration to yourself temporarily. Also, positive status effects applied to you will also heal. This is clarity, not corrupting presence. It's like white magic, but much more aggressive. Also, once we used the spell, we lost it. Lathweyn again. So, how much money do we actually have? 13,000. Decent amount. So, yeah, the arcane smithy does not have the blueprints available for the rest. Huh. How will the ballista inflicts heavy siege damage to buildings within a considerable range and knocks down units. But you, for some reason, the ballista, if there is even a ballista, and this one is not at its usual position. Look at that. It has to move a certain bit. Both of these have to... Yeah, both of these have to be moved around. So the order is not correct right now. Or maybe the growth itself...
Our scholars have finished researching a new technology.
Yeah.
Something you need?
So now we have swift feet. The units themselves don't change. The swift feet thing has its own kind of icon, but it does not change the icon of the units. Yeah, that's weird. That's really weird. You have the Elven Ranger with this icon, and you have the Elven Novice with this icon. But if you look at the Arcane Smithy, this icon is the same, but this one here is different. I would have guessed that every time you level them up, the icon slightly changes in order to tell you that they are leveled up. But it does not do that. Very interesting. Anyway, let's continue and talk to the Scryers, multiple of them.
Fenrir, it's done.
So, the spell worked?
Yes, it was a hard fight, but the Treant is cleansed. The corruption seems to be over.
That is remarkable. Ellen must have truly smiled upon you.
I doubt it. Or maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
Truth be told, it's a bit ironic that it was a human who saved our people from this plague.
Well,
I'm just glad it's over.
Don't get your hopes up, Varden. Those humans who took over the Northander camp, the Bane, they'll be back.
oh no. Maybe they are coming from the southeastern section.
Be that as it may, we held our end of the bargain.
Oh.
Will you help us?
Yes, yes, we will. I've said it before, we are a small people, but you will have our help whenever you need it. We will send you a scryer and a division of our best soldiers and craftsmen to support your cause.
You'll have to give
thank
us
you.
time, though. A couple of days, maybe. We have to pick up the pieces the corruption left first. Where can we find you?
We've set up camp in a valley in Iskander. We can leave you a map.
Yes, do that. I'd invite you to stay for some days, but I'm assuming you have another matter to attend to.
A lot of them, actually.
Well then, this is goodbye. Thank you again for everything, friend. And may Ellen guide you.
Hey. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Ah. And all of the buildings are now in neutral hands. Neutral hands. Same thing. So, let's claim some rewards here. What do we got? We got the Qualine Amulet of the Necromancer, which just gives me more focus and more HP, so it's a flat kind of thingy. The Qualine Amulet of the Necromancer used to belong to Dalzar the Bloody, a necromancer that claimed many innocent lives in the name of experimentation. His ruthless research led to the creation of this amulet. The necklace helps its wearer connect to primal dark powers that strengthen the wearer's vitality and improve their focus. Ah, there we go. Much more interesting. The Ring of the Sage is a prized possession of the Creators Guild. Andergast believes that the ring originally belonged to one of the disciples of the Guardian Elon. The ring makes its wearer intelligent enough to understand the profundity of magic. And then we got a bonus of willpower, the will of the betrayer. In the final years of the Mage Wars, it became quite clear that the rebels would not come out of the conflict victorious. Their morale plummeted, and some rebels started to consider defecting. This is why Isamo Tahar used all his magical skills to create a collection of rings that would clear the minds of his troops and give them the belief and willpower to fight on. Interesting. I don't know which one I should use, because intelligence is kind of nice because it boosts my damage. Willpower also boosts my damage, but the ones of the stuff that I can summon, I don't know, like, but it's not a permanent kind of thing. That's it. Also, one of it is a all right, wait a minute. Do I have a few more interesting items? No. No jewelry, no nothing, no anything. Yeah, the rest is just... oh, this is some focus thingy. Perfect. But we don't need flat amounts of focus. Like, if you have enough regeneration, you can just cast whatever you need. Because... okay. There's a certain difference. If you have a lot of focus at the beginning of a fight, you can just go all out and basically burst the enemy to death. If you deal enough damage. But after the first sequence of spells, it goes into a regeneration phase. And if you have an awful lot of intelligence, the regeneration is much faster. So you can continue on casting much more frequently. And the whole thing just has a higher damage altogether. So it's either the first bit of damage that's higher with willpower, or the following bits of damage that's higher with intelligence. Damage over time in this case, in relation to focus or focus regeneration. It has nothing to do with the actual scaling of the spells. We just are going for, yeah, whatever spell we can use. Anyway, Call of the Forsaken scales with willpower. So yeah, we are going for willpower just in order to check this out. So, this one goes away. And this one goes in. Now we have 8. And we can get... oh, bollocks. I need to level attributes twice for willpower again. That was actually quite stupid, because intelligence is already maxed out. That was so stupid of me. That was so stupid of me. Okay. Whatever. We have the family heirloom, so to speak. Great one. Alright. Is there anything else that we can do in here? We can talk... yeah, let's just quickly talk to the trader up here. Maybe we can get some interesting items off of them. But anyway. On another note, we might just be able to enter this area a second time if necessary. Diddy-doop, 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 dip-doop. So
Armors,
then-
shields, everything from copper daggers to moon silver swords.
Like you have 5 fingers on each hand, but you only are able to wear 2 rings, right? It would be overpowered if you have 10 rings, 1 on each finger. Actually, you can put an awful lot of more rings on your fingers, and if you are a magic user, then it doesn't really matter how many you have there, because you can just carry them. You don't need to hit them with your fists or anything. So you're not kind of affected by your fingers not being able to bend properly. Basically kind of look like a Michelin figure. Completely unable to move, but somehow very powerful. Alright. But yeah, those rings are not that important.
Farewell.
And other than that, we don't have anything else that we could do here. So, let's go to Mulandir. Oh, just like that. I thought you had to go through the main map. Through the world map first, and not just immediately arrive at Mulandir. But alright. Also, maybe we are able to talk to some of those NPCs now. Scryer Eleon. Blah, blah, blah. More here unlocked. There, that's great. Not elves unlocked, but more here unlocked. Iskander
Seems
army
like the
unlocked.
warrior elves have
Might have
arrived.
been the other one.
Good.
Just like that. Good.
Yeah, just be careful.
Why?
Well, that scryer they sent, she claims to know you. I think she was there in Leonon.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I'll talk to her as soon as I get the chance.
In any case,
Oh.
with our new allies, we should be able to go look for the stones. Let's talk at the forge.
Though it might be wise to look for more support first. We don't know what to expect there.
And they disappear and okay.
Yes?
So, the dark corners of the mind. To talk to Ianna in Mulandir. So you really have to continue the main mission. Quick question, where is Ianna? There she is. So, this is an Elven novice. And this is the Scryer Eleon. Scryer Eleon.
Yes?
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Wait, aren't you...
Yeah, exactly.
Scryer Eleon from Leonon. Yes. I'm the Scryer Finrior and Merilith sent to lead the Moorhere troops who'll be supporting your cause. Actually, I was hoping you'd come by. I think we should have a talk, shouldn't we?
Well, why not? You owe me an apology.
You owe me an apology.
That's putting it lightly. Many men and women died that day. And just because of me. Which is another reason why I'm happy they sent me here. It's a chance to make up for what I did. Though that does not mean that your commander, General Noria, didn't also play a role in this. His reputation was well known, even among us.
Okay, I would like to train the elves. Can we talk about what happened in Leon? Okay.
Can we talk about what happened in Leonon?
What more is there to say? I suspected your general would order to purge the village, and I overreacted. It was a stupid mistake, and I wish it hadn't ended that way. Though I somehow doubt that we could have come to a diplomatic solution anyway.
Well, we could have. The general, not as much. Alright, let's try to train the
I would
elves.
like to train the elves.
Well, if you have the coin, I might be able to help. Let's see.
Whoa, I can only have like 3 upgrades, if anything. Improves the Elven Ranger unit by lowering its recruitment cost. Elven, yeah, the Ranger is the ranged unit, the first one, and not the... what was that? Yeah, not the Pathfinder. So improves the Elven Ranger unit by enhancing its health points. Novice, cost reduction. Novice again, and Ranger again, cost reduction. Wait, I have to check onto something real quick. Elves. So, what research is enabled? Schematic and No, the ranger has free upgrades, and I can only buy 2 of them. Interesting. Also, the Elven Tower only has 2 stages, whereas this one here seems to have 3 stages, doesn't it? Human Watchtower, Fortified Watchtower, nothing, and an Iron Mine. So, Watchtower, Iron Mine, or Fortified and Iron Mine. So there seems to be a 3rd stage for the humans, and the elves... Yeah, the elves are actually missing a building. That's interesting. I think the reason for this is that the Shrine of Elon behaves like that somewhat. It's a stationary defense, it's pretty sweet. But, what other building do the elves actually get from it? Yeah, the elves actually have a additional building. It might be the Shrine of Elon, but then there's the Watchtower missing. So, what do we have in here? Human Forge, Human Farm, Human Forge. Iron Smelter, Iron Farm, Arcane Smithy. That's weird. Iron Mine, Iron Smelter. Wait, yeah, this is the upgrade thingy. This is the Arcane Smithy, yeah. And then we have the Elven Farm. This is the Human Farm. Farm and Arcane Smithy, yeah. Provides an inexhaustible, steady source of food. Provides an inexhaustible, steady source of food. It's the same description, so they don't behave differently, I would say. It's just a reskin in order for fairness, but fairness my ass. If there are different races, then they should also behave differently, because what's the point? Alright, then there's also Ianna. So let's look at her abilities. 14 points. Next level, Dream Weaving. Reduces all cooldowns by 3% every time. You can do this 6 times, so that means 18% cooldown reduction. Also Brutality. This one seems a bit different than the rest. Increases all auto attack damage by 4%. But... oh, she's doing dagger damage. She's probably going for speed or something. Auto attacks apply Dream Reaver Mark on every enemy you attack. I don't know what the Dream Reaver Mark is. You attack auto attacks against targets affected by Dream Reaver's Mark, deal additional damage. Ah, okay. So mobilize target enemy. The duration is doubled if the target is currently affected by Dream Reaver Mark. Cannot attack, cast, spell, or move. So the duration is doubled if the target... yeah, same thing. Apathetic. What else is this one? Siphon. Leech life from a target enemy. The amount of life leeched is doubled if the target is currently affected by Dream Reaver. What's the rest? And reduce the cooldown. And your cooldowns are also reset entirely if the target is currently affected by the Dream Weaver thing. That's really powerful stuff. Phantasm. Summons a decoy at the target position that applies taunted to an enemy nearby enemies. Summon a decoy that applies taunt and that explodes upon death or expiration. That's actually pretty sweet. But this one scales with intelligence, so... oh, doppelganger. Create a doppelganger at target position that fights on your side. Create 2 doppelgangers at target position that fight on your side. That sounds amazing. So let's take this one. I don't need to immobilize them. Like, there's no reason for that. I mean... they just are unable to do anything, but if you silence them, then it's usually all you need to do. So, okay, what else do I need to do? Like, critical hits are pretty sweet. Oh, Assassination. Assassination is something... wait, Assassination is the stuff that Bertrand also has, isn't it? But okay, what do we got? Increase all auto attack damage by 4. So we're going for that one. Deal damage to a single target plus turns on much of your weapon. No, what I want to get is some perks here. Increases your damage when dual wielding. Increases your damage with two-handed weapons. I think we're going for dual wielding and not two-handed weapons here. Like, she's a dagger user, isn't she? So, the bonus damage perk, yep. Leech life. I mean, this is a nice spell, but ultimately unnecessary. The decoy is also nice to have, but it's much cooler to just use the doppelganger here. Alright, what else? The fact that you can actually reset the cooldowns is pretty sweet. The problem is if you use the spell, then you're probably out of focus the moment afterwards. So you're kind of screwed anyway. Alright, it increases crit chance by 3. Auto attack. What about this one? Damage target enemy, deal triple damage when the target is at full health. So it's an initiator. So if I would use a ranged attack against an enemy and skip the full health part, then this attack would just get completely useless. Damage interrupt target enemy and apply bleeding. Yeah, that's great. What else? Silence and bleeding. The heal and cleanse is pretty sweet. Heal and cleanse target ally. Oh, target ally. That's pretty sweet. Immunity to negative status effects. That's quite neat too. Impaired to all enemies. And also some bleeding. What about this one? Reveals target area on the map. 3 hawk eyes can be activated at the same time. Ooh. Oh, that is just such a nice spell. You can just look and watch the enemy like that. That's sweet. Gain a chance to inflict bleeding on every auto attack. And impaired on every auto attack. Okay, that's pretty sweet. I like my perks here. Single target deals massive damage to a build. Whoa, raise. So you can basically just go with brutality and some auras, and then you are able to destroy every building immediately. So just go for melee craziness, I would say. Alright, damage and interrupts done. Doubled if the target is currently weakened. Okay, what about this one? Place a trap in that target area. After 5 seconds, the trap becomes armed and explodes once an enemy steps onto it, dealing heavy damage to all enemies caught in the blast radius. Only 3 traps can be activated at a time. Okay, so the difference is the amount of stuff. I would go for sword play, I would say. I don't need this spell or this spell. I would go for the center thingy, so I don't waste too many abilities. Damage and interrupt the target. Damage interrupt and stun a target. Target is currently weakened. So we have either a silence, damage and interrupt, same thing. This one stuns. And this one does bleed. I don't know which one would be better. It's always nice to get rid of some enemies like that. The focus cost is kind of the same. But I don't care about the ability. I just want the perks, as I said. They're kind of neat. So now she is basically usable for everything. Except for that perk here. I have to increase that as well. Wait a minute. Let's see, what does it do? Every dual wielding weapon now also deals its damage as siege damage in addition to its regular damage type. That is cool. Okay, let's ignore swordplay and let's just do siege damage. That is amazing. Okay, let's apply. And I could do something for that action group. So, Ianna, how do I change your... just scroll down. So, Ianna spells. We got Siphon, we got the Whirlwind. So that's the first one, that's the second one. Wait a minute. Siphon, Phantasm... Doppelganger. Siphon is the taunt with the explosion. Kind of behaves like the explode the dead thingy. So let's just exchange them. Yeah, that behaves kind of the same. Then what else do we got? Throwing knife. So that's the action group 2. Let's get the Shadow Strike in there, Whirlwind, and this one. Oh, there's more. Flurry of Blades. Deal damage and apply impaired to all enemies around you. Oh, come on. How much more do we have? Damage and bleed. Deal triple damage and then... Oh, triple damage. That means like 3,000... 3,000. 1000 damage. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So, action group 4 then. We'll get a nice AoE. That is actually also some kind of area of effect skill, but okay. Too bad you don't see those, all of those spells, really. Okay, save a little bit. So, Rowan can't do anything in here. What about his spellbook? Huh, we can scroll down on the spell description, that's great. Undercast also has only 2 spells, free. Huh, yeah, I think we just leveled up most of the first perks here. Yeah, the first perk has been leveled, first perks have been leveled. The reason for this is fairly simple. Archery. I was actually thinking that archery was the what is it, assassination thing, because it kind of behaves the same, but critical, black magic, yeah, it just, they use similar icons, which is a bit lazy. Where's the thing? Yeah, it's basically the archery build, just with different style of items. So either you have archery or you have assassination, but they kind of behave similar, right? Yeah, deals bleeding and inflict them. So this is also the trap thingy. Then you have like multi-thingy, multi-shot. It is the same. So archery and assassination are basically 2 different versions of the same tree. One being a melee one, and the other one doing something like this. Damage target, damage is increased if the target is at full health. See that? Same thing. But this one just says the damage is increased, not how much damage we actually do. Whereas the assassination one says we deal tons of damage here. That's just weird. Alright. She has to be on the front lines, therefore she has to have higher constitution numbers. Like all of the constitution. Let's just go for 5 constitution here. No. Yeah, something like that. And an awful lot of dexterity in there. So how much? Not that much crit though, but yeah, let's just apply that. And see what we can place on her. There's dexterity, there's also another dexterity. There's ice damage and no special damage. 23 crit chance. And if I take this one away, then the numbers would actually increase slightly. Yeah, crit chance goes up slightly. But that is it. Tiara's Betrayer against humans, and this is ice. Okay. The block chance increases. The crit chance decreases. The attack speed is the same because it's a dagger. Do I have another one? Yeah, the chance to apply bleeding. 23 and 10. 26 and 10, so... But this one at least... Either we got an ice damage thingy, or... 19... 17. So it's an average crit damage. Yeah, makes sense, because sometimes you attack with the right and sometimes with the left hand, so it is the average of the 2 numbers, right? Makes sense now. Okay, now the only thing that you need to take care of is what order they should be in. Like, this one does more damage this way around. Yeah, much better this way. 53, 53, it's either 19. Yeah, 19 and 19. Crit is the same no matter how you sort it, but the damage changes a little bit. It is either lower or higher depending on the main weapon, and the main weapon should always be the one with the higher damage, I would say. So, now what about the armor pieces? Ianna's armor, sweet. But that's stupid. I'm gonna give her something with a bit more oomph. Let's give her the... what is this? Splint armor of magic. Or maybe they get... No, the Gambison is stupid. Then we have some green stuff that might even be better. No, it's not. But I do have... What about the... Oh... The cleansing thing on Rowan. I totally forgot about. Yeah, looks like this armor is pretty damn good on him. So, what about the other stuff? Side range reduced by 30%. What about her resistances? 20 something. Let's get this in. Looks cool, but maybe I should go for something like that. No. Go for the bestest armor pieces that you can find. It's the thing that I want to do here. Also look at this. The Hound Skull has much more magic resistance, but is more impactful on the side. Also gives you a little bit more health. So, except for the health regeneration out of combat. That's a pretty neat one. So what should I go? It's out of combat, right? So if I'm out of combat, then I can just wait or heal myself. So it would be better to have better survivability in combat, therefore having higher resistances altogether. So the Hound Skull might be much better pick. Even if it might not make that much sense. So, there is like frost stuff in here. There's fire in there. I don't want to utilize too many rings. Let's just keep the rings so I can put them on the characters if necessary. And mix and match depending on the enemy that I have to fight. Makes more sense to me. Yeah, let's not put it on the characters, because once it's all on the characters, we don't have access to it. Therefore, Rowan, yeah, Undergast has to get rid of his little... the Ash Reaver is not that potent. The Fire Amulet might be helpful. But then, again, Fire Resistance again. Yeah, it would be really good to have additional Fire Resistance, just in case. Immunity to fire would be cool. So I think what you have to do is get rid of the amulet and the rings for every character that's not on your main squad. So that if the situation arises, you can just select buff items in order to get stronger. Alright, so now that we leveled up most of them, now where are we gonna go next? There is a... there we go. But this dude was here beforehand. Elven novice. Let's see, maybe he has more items available for me now.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Have you come
yes.
to see the fruits of my labor?
That's the Elven Ballista again. Winter Mage. What do we got here? Normal items. Wildlife damage. Why should I care that much about wildlife? This game is like...
Pleasure doing business with you.
You fight humans or humanoid enemies much more often.
Will do.
Okay, what about this one? Ianna. Alright. Let's talk to her first.
Yes, Corporal? How can I help?
Well, you need to talk a little bit. Can you tell me more about your abilities?
Can you tell me more about your abilities? What's it like to be a Dreamweaver?
Well, I suppose trying to explain that to someone who isn't is like explaining what water feels like to someone who never swam before. It's strange. I can sense things. Emotions, thoughts, but also the echoes of such. If I enter a place where someone has died, I feel that person's sorrow, that person's fear. My mind, my consciousness, it's open. I know that might sound very vague, but it's the best I can do.
So you're kind of connected to the spiritual realm, it seems. I'd like to know more about that friend you lost.
I'd like to know more about your friend, the one you lost to the Bloodburn.
I'm not sure what there is to say. She was my friend, and the Bloodburn took her. Hence, I joined you. That is all there is to say.
Okay, and how can you kill people for a living? Well, everybody needs a job, right? If you actually think about it, killing people for a living. Let's just zoom out of the waterfall here for a moment. That just means that you, your actions that give you the opportunity to survive take that opportunity from others, right? As a, like, we are going further back and further back from the actual understanding of like assassination, right? It's like okay, the killing thing because someone else told you to do it, which is kind of the same as a soldier if the situation arises. But then if you take one step further back from it, if you have a more broader understanding of the whole assassination thing, you take more and more into account and you see it more and more smeared out. It gets more generalized, right? Like, yeah, there are actually multiple steps in here. So the first one is assassination. The most specific description of it, in this case, yeah, killing people for a living or to get money. But yeah, for a living. Like, let's say you get an apple or whatever kind of meal you want to eat. That means you can survive, right? This is the exchange. I give you food and you kill someone for me. Or sometimes it's just getting money and you kill someone for me. And then the whole killing thing, if you take it more general, is yeah, taking the opportunity or the possibility, opportunity, whatever. I think the possibility might be the better one. Possibility and opportunity do have kind of a similar meaning, but they're not quite the same. In this case, it just means that the chance of someone surviving is higher. Or the fact that they can survive increases. Or in this case, it decreases because of the assassination. So, because Ianna gets paid, her survivability increases, and someone else's decreased by 100% because they got killed. It's kind of the same thing, really. If you, let's say you are selling products that do not necessarily help people to survive. They are like consumer goods that are just there for consumption's sake, basically. They don't have any further purpose, let's say. Like, sometimes you can think of it as, okay, this consumer good made the people more happy, therefore they get more productive, therefore their survival increases, or their ability to make a living increases, right? So this is some kind of like support consumer item. But then again, let's say you just have sell pure consumer goods, so in order to drain people's pockets, that means you attack their livelihood, right? Because in this case they lose the money that they would otherwise be able to spend on, hopefully, the goods that make them either more productive or, in the most extreme part, able to survive. Food, shelter, the basic stuff. So it is kind of the same if you think about it. It's just that it has a very negative ethical connection to it. It's really weird if you think about it, right? So everybody that just sells pure consumer goods without any follow-up use for the people is nothing more than an assassin, if you think about it. It's just that they don't kill them directly, right? Or let's go, yeah, let's have another example for this, just in case. Let's say you are selling cars, right? Or you're building cars or whatever. You are in the industry that gets money by building and selling cars. And then the outcome of it is that people are using those cars in order to, well, pollute the planet. Well, not in order to pollute the planet, but this is just an outcome that happens, right? And pollution of the planet means that there are floods and there are climate changes that happen, right? And the outcome of the climate changes and floods and like weather conditions that are not beneficial to farming means that you are losing crops. And the loss of crops means, of course, the direct loss of some people's food, therefore them dying. Very interesting, right? So it's also some kind of assassination if you think about it. So if you're not in the food business, then you are nothing more than an assassin. If you are really general about it. That's amazing, actually. It's really amazing. Or at least if you're not in a food supporting industry as well. So let's say you are building tractors, right? Yeah, like not cars. Tractors are kind of the same, but there are cars that are... Okay, let's be a bit more specific. What if you're selling cars for people to go to work on farms? That's a bit more grey, right? So everything is kind of greyed out. And in a sense that everybody is somewhat of an assassin at every point in time, no matter what. Even if you just... Let's go for something even stranger. Let's say you ask someone just any question. If you take other people's time, right? That means you take time away from them to... Let's go for the most beneficial thing that they would do. They would basically work, right? Let's say you ask someone that is working right now. And then they have to answer your question, or they decide to answer your question. Therefore, they are stopping their work. Therefore, they stop whatever makes them a living. So in this case, you also assassinate their life, at least by a certain percentage. It's a really interesting thing. And then it's, okay, let's go one step further. You ask them, but then in the end, it ends up with you being able to buy an item, like customer support or whatever. Yeah, an item. Okay, wait a minute. Let's say you are going to buy an item, but from a different company. So that company is going to survive again. So your company is dying because you answered the question, but another company is thriving because those people just bought the goods from there, right? So just moving customers around is some form of killing. Oh, Jesus Christ. In the end, it's just extremely grey, and it doesn't really matter what you do. Jesus. That's basically what we can get of it. It's just that the act, in this case, the assassination act, is more direct. Yeah, it's just at the end of it. It's just more direct. Whereas the rest is somewhere in between or very grey-ish in its understanding. It's really interesting.
What's next?
All right. So, how can you kill people for a living? Let's get an answer from her.
There's something I've been wondering. How can you kill for a living?
What do you mean? How can I align it with my morals?
Yes.
I don't know if this is the right moment for this conversation. Maybe another time.
What? Come on. I basically did a very, very ethical standpoint of why assassination is good or bad, actually, or why it doesn't matter. Yeah, the obelisk emits some energy. Wait a minute. Why is the assassination next to an obelisk that emits energy?
Understood.
Does she need this energy for something? Studa hinge. But alright, let's just check up on...
What can I do for you today?
What? Tell me more. I want to cook wayfarers.
I had hoped
there
as
we go.
much. What do you need?
So...
daggers to moon silver swords.
Do I know if I have the human keeper cost reduction? Yeah, no, I don't have that stuff available. On block applies da.
Got it. Now what's your
Okay,
Yes.
Let me take a look at your designs.
1,500. That's
time you need.
extremely cheap. Human Aria Distillery Reinforcement. What does it do? Building by enhancing insert. Okay, it's basically the same stuff. Like, buildings get reinforced. Aria Shrine gets reinforced, so everything gets reinforced. It has more hit points. Does anything in here have something to do with, like, cost reduction? Okay. So building it gets cheaper. Watchtower the same. Cost reduction, cost reduction, cost reduction. Productivity would be great. Not just the cost reduction, but building speed. Okay, same thing. So you have building speed, you have cost reduction, and you have reinforcement. But nothing in here increases the capability or the productivity of that building. It's just how it's easily you can get it, and that's it. So yeah, what about this dude here? And let's just quickly go there. It's also very weird. Like, we have multiple Wayfarers and human-ish architects with stuff on them. Then, yeah, we have this Scryer over here, and then we have Vilron down here. There might be another elf that we can unlock. It might be that there's always a set of 3 all the time. You just have to find them somewhere. What?
I want music to my ears. What did you have in mind?
Yeah, arsonist cost reduction. That's the thing that I want. Also, arsonist reinforcement. Ah, okay. So if you have it already, then that's great. Improves the human arsonist unit by lowering its recruitment cost and health points. And don't we have anything else? Human arsonist, Hellbodier, scout, arbalist, infantryman, scout, and infantryman. Okay, so the higher and the higher tier the units are, the more costly the upgrade is. But I'm not interested in just reinforcement and cost reduction. Maybe it's just the damage output that can be improved here, but you don't really get usable stuff from it though. Alright, did I kill some goblins in the meantime? Did I kill some also? Do we have stuff unlocked? No. Where's the goblin thingy? Documents? No, it's quest items with goblin meats and things like that. There's the wolf hide. There is puma pelts. A pretty impressive puma pelt. Well, yeah, you can sell it, but... And there's wheathen meat. But a goblin is not really interested in it, is it? Anyway. We could continue on the main mission. Or... we can gain the Orcish Alliance, which we can get access to if we just go to the world map. And this is something that we're gonna do the next time. So, for now, let's end it and continue with another alliance at another time. Until then, like and subscribe. Ta-ta!